You know the saying. Happiness is where we are not, replied Bazarov. Besides, you told me yesterday that you are discontented. But it is as you say, no such ideas ever enter my head. Perhaps they seem ridiculous to you? No, they just don't enter my head. Really? Do you know, I should very much like to know what you do think about? How? I don't understand you. Listen, I have long wanted to have a frank talk with you. There is no need to tell you, for you know it yourself, that you are not an ordinary person, you are still young, your whole life lies before you. For what are you preparing yourself? What future awaits you? I mean to say, what purpose are you aiming at, in what direction are you moving, what is in your heart? In short, who and what are you? You surprise me, Anna Sergeyevna. You know, that I am studying natural science and who I. Yes, who are you? I have already told you that I am going to be a district doctor. Anna Sergeyevna made an impatient movement. What do you say that for? You don't believe it yourself. Arkady might answer me in that way, but not you. How does Arkady come in? Stop. Is it possible you could content yourself with such a humble career, and aren't you always declaring that medicine doesn't exist for you? You, with your ambition, a district doctor. You answer me like that in order to put me off because you have no confidence in me. But you know, Yevgeny Vasilich, I should be able to understand you. I also have been poor and ambitious, like you, perhaps I went through the same trials as you. That's all very well, Anna Sergeyevna, but you must excuse me, I am not in the habit of talking freely about myself in general, and there is such a gulf between you and me. In what way, a gulf? Do you mean to tell me again that I am an aristocrat? Enough of that, Yevgeny Vasilich, I thought I had convinced you. And apart from all that, broke in Bazarov, how can we want to talk and think about the future, which for the most part doesn't depend on ourselves? If an opportunity turns up of doing something, so much the better, and if it doesn't turn up, at least one can be glad that one didn't idly gossip about it beforehand. You call a friendly conversation gossip? Or perhaps you consider me as a woman unworthy of your confidence? I know you despise us all. I don't despise you, Anna Sergeyevna, and you know that. No, I don't know anything, but let us suppose so. I understand your disinclination to talk about your future career, but as to what is taking place within you now. Taking place, repeated Bazarov, as if I were some kind of government or society. In any case, it is completely uninteresting, and besides, can a person always speak out loud of everything which takes place within him? But I don't see why you shouldn't speak freely, about everything you have in your heart. Can you? Asked Bazarov. I can, answered Anna Sergeyevna, after a moment's hesitation. Bazarov bowed his head. You are luckier than I? As you like, she continued, but still something tells me that we did not get to know each other for nothing, that we shall become good friends. I am sure that how shall I say, your constraint, your reserve, will disappear eventually. So you have noticed in me reserve, and, how did you put it, constraint? Yes. Bazarov got up and went to the window. And would you like to know the reason for this reserve? Would you like to know what is happening within me? Yes, repeated Madame Odintsov, with a sort of dread which she did not quite understand. And you will not be angry? No. No? Bazarov was standing with his back to her. Let me tell you then that I love you like a fool, like a madman. There, you've got that out of me. Madame Odintsov raised both her hands in front of her, while Bazarov pressed his forehead against the window pane. He was breathing hard, his whole body trembled visibly. But it was not the trembling of youthful timidity, not the sweet awe of the first declaration that possessed him, it was passion beating within him, a powerful heavy passion not unlike fury and perhaps akin to it. Madame Odintsov began to feel both frightened and sorry for him. Yevgeny Vassilitch, she murmured, and her voice rang with unconscious tenderness. He quickly turned round, threw a devouring look at her, and seizing both her hands, he suddenly pressed her to him. She did not free herself at once from his embrace, but a moment later she was standing far away in a corner and looking from there at Bazarov. He rushed towards her. You misunderstood me, she whispered in hurried alarm.